Hello everyone, this is Dr. Indris Suraj. Yesterday when I was attending my class, one of my students asked me for a subsite, how to create a subsite. So when you think about a subsite, you have to know that most organizations disable developing building up a subsite because it just complicates the system and it doesn't work a lot with creating other functionalities. Because of that, by default, creating subsite is something which is disabled by default. So, in order for someone to go ahead and build up a subsite, you have to work on that. For instance, if you just go on this site and try to build up add a subsite, it's already disabled. You cannot do it here because there is no functionality that lets you develop a subsite. If you come here, you cannot do it, develop a subsite. Even open a subsite. If you open this one, even you cannot find that. You can create a list, you can page, you can document library, or you can do add app, but you cannot create a subsite here. So what we have to do is that we have to go back from behind and make it re-enable it. How can we do that? The first step that you have to click here, then press this one, then you have to come back, go to the admin part. Then, as you can see that you can find homes, users, home team, or billing or anything, but you cannot find the way to work on the SharePoint part. So what you have to do is that you have to go to the SharePoint page. Once you just extended that, so when you create SharePoint setting page, you find this page. Then come and you have to come and press this setting part. As you can see that on the setting part, you can find a bunch of areas where you can do on the OneDrive, the screens, the SharePoint enabled, so many functionalities. But for this case, what you should do, especially in order to add a subsite, is that you have to come and change this to a classical setting page because during the classical page it was available. So on the new SharePoint online page, it's not available. So if you have to add the subsite, you have to press that. Then once you come to this page, you can see that in all the way down here, you can tell you that site creation, hide, you can show it or do anything. But what we're looking for is that doing our subsite creation. So we have to come here. So when you come here, you can see that in by default, it's enable subsite creation on classical. This is the default uh, functionality. So you have to switch this one to enable subsite creation for all sites. Once we did that, we can change many things, but we can leave this one and press OK. So once you press OK, you can see that it's revolving around because what SharePoint trying to do is that it's going back sides and readjusting everything, making it available for you. So we have to give it a time so that SharePoint works behind. Once it's been done, we have to come here and go back and refresh it again. Try to give it a refresh because the more you refresh it, the more you are giving a possibility to, make itself up. So you have to come here and like when you come here on the same page, so like press content, site content, come site content, and come here. So when you press it here, you can see that subsite is enabled here. Press that. Once you press that, it just gives you a page where you can, for instance, my first subsite. Add the description, or if you have a URL, you can add, or in English, you can choose a language and everything. You can do the subset classical or whatever experience. But finally, after doing everything, you have to press create. Create actually URL. You can't leave this URL. Maybe give it like like new subsite, uh, subsite, subsite, or so you have to give it a name. Then finally, you have to press create. So when you press create, it just goes on saying that working on it. So because SharePoint is trying to create a subsite for us. Now we already get the first subsite. So in addition to the site we already have, it's giving us the first subsite that's gonna be available the site under the site. So that's how you can create a subsite.